What if the future of Malaysia was quietly unfolding just beyond the border? Not in the towering skyline of Kuala Lumpur, nor the digital frontiers of Penang, but here, in a city often overlooked, yet never standing still. Johor Bahru, a name familiar to many, yet known by so few. Underneath its weathered facades and bustling streets lies a city in transition, shaped by history, stirred by ambition. It is here that culture, commerce, and community converge. Under the watchful eye of a modern Sultan, whose influence reaches far beyond tradition. In recent years, Johor Bahru has begun to stir with bold infrastructure, global investment, and a renewed sense of purpose. Some see it as a border town, others as a rising capital, but perhaps it is something more. A gateway, a blueprint. A glimpse into the Malaysia that is yet to come. This is JB, and this may well be the future of the nation. Kopitiam, a word, a world, and perhaps a bridge. Between empire and identity, Singapore and Johor. Two siblings divided by geography, stitched together by taste. Kaya toast, soft boiled eggs, butter thick as memory, Portuguese custards, Malay coconut, Chinese kopitiam. Empire made it possible, belonging made it last. Singapore claims it. Johor insists it began here. But maybe it belongs to both. For nearly every Singaporean tradition, Johor has an origin story. And maybe the strait isn't a divide. Maybe it's a mirror. If Singapore is the face of progress, Johor might be its memory. For every innovation, a quiet ancestor. And as the world races past, Johor moves too. Quietly, steadily, forward. What happens when the past outlives those who remember it? Fatima is not a relic of the past. She is the past. Still breathing, still observing. A descendant of Malay royalty, now living modestly. A widow, a matriarch. Once the commanding center of a household, now its anchor. Her hands once knew every spice by scent. Now they rest as others pick up where she left off. She grew up before screens, before hashtags, in a time when women were raised to build homes, not follow dreams. Fatima has outlived her generation. But in her home, time bends and memory lingers. Sometimes, when the breeze carries the scent of sambal from the kitchen, she closes her eyes. She sees her younger self, sleeves rolled, mortar and pestle rocking, children laughing in the next room. The house is quieter now, but the rhythm of life, the one she once led, still echoes in its walls. Okay. Tradition doesn't vanish. It ripens. And sometimes it's bottled. A recipe passed, not through YouTube, but through hands and hours. Outside, a younger woman climbs the tree. Laughter. Fatima watches from the shade. She no longer climbs, but she remembers. This moment is more than nostalgia. It's inheritance. What Fatima once did with strength, another now does with ease. But the memory, the quiet pride, still belongs to her. From one pair of hands to another, the ritual continues. Have some tea.
Where's my biscuit?
Where's your biscuit?
Biscuit?
In every peel, every slice, every jar sealed under sun and time. A bridge between generations is preserved. The night market is not just a market, it's a vocabulary, a rhythm, a living archive of identity. Singlish may be Singapore's trademark dialect, but its bones are Malay. At the Pasar Malam, you don't just buy dinner. You inherit language. You speak in memory. You taste the past in every plate. The tradition of the night market stretches back generations. A weekly gathering where villagers once came to trade, to gossip, to connect. For Fatima, it was the pulse of her youth. Lantern-lit lanes, sizzling walks, playful bargaining. Neighbors she knew by smell before sight. To Malaysians, it's not merely a place to eat. It's a place to belong, to see oneself reflected, not in glass towers, but in grilled satay smoke and handwritten price tags. Today's Pasar Malam. Old rituals meet new cravings. It's a shared space where tradition finds a modern appetite. A taste that tingles memory, a broth that binds generations. Asam Pedas. Sour, spicy, and unapologetically Malay. A dish built on contradiction, tartness and fire, patience and passion. Made with tamarind, chilies, and the unmistakable aroma of torched ginger. It simmers, never rushed, always earned. Fatima eats slowly, deliberately. This is not fast food. This is fermented history.
Thank you.
The evening winds down, as often is the case. With family gathered round, Durian being the dessert of choice, conversation a slow unwinding. A flash of hands split open the spiky husk. The air thickens. A few laugh. Someone dives in. Fatima smiles because here, in the chaos of flavor and family, her world still thrives. Johor's city centre hums like a radio caught between stations. A A skyline stitched with old malls, faded signage, concrete worn soft with time.
Where is that? Johor Bahru in Oyangurin area.
The Indian Heritage Center still stands, quietly dignified. A keeper of stories beneath the hum of passing scooters. The rain stops us in our tracks. A shuttered shop, faded paint, a name rusted into memory. The street carries yesterday's weight. Globalization paves over what remains. Some doors stay closed, but the past still lingers. Where Fatima once bought fabric, her granddaughter now sips coffee. Johor isn't behind, it's becoming. Can a city age and still feel young? A city that remembers and still dares to imagine. And above it all, a monarchy both modern and mindful, watching as the state it stewards begins to rise in its own rhythm. Before we see a place, we must see its people, what they carry, what they've lost, and what they choose to keep. Johor is not just a city, it's a story still unfolding between what once was and what might still be. Fatima, once of royal blood, now lives quietly in a house filled with memory. She no longer cooks, but she waits. She remembers. Not out of duty, but out of love. But if you like your coffee bitter, make sure you tell them either no sugar or less sugar. Both monarch and matriarch hold time. One in history books, the other in recipes, in glances, in gestures passed on. Nothing stays still. Not thrones, not homes. And yet something remains. Care, effort, presence. As the Malay saying goes, sejauh mana kita pergi, asal usul tetap di hati. No matter how far we travel, our roots stay in our hearts. And in the end, it's not how high we rise, but how deeply we are remembered.